Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So many of you may know who MrBeast is. He's the most popular YouTuber around at the moment, but also some of you may have heard about his best friend, Kris Tyson, who now goes by Ava Kris Tyson for some reason. I think it's just Ava now, but I'm adding the Ava Kris Tyson there because it's 2024. So that's what you've got to do nowadays. If someone comes out saying that they're going by a different name or different pronouns, you've got to actually use them, even though I refuse to. So nevertheless, there's a great deal of controversy that's going on at the moment and some very serious allegations being made towards Kris Tyson. Now, I am not in any way I'm not in any way insinuating that Kris is guilty of any of these allegations that have been made to him and what he has done. But we're going to get into some of the allegations today, why it is causing a lot of controversy because, well, Kris was 20 years old and apparently he was grooming a 13-year-old or speaking to a minor. And as we know, that's not allowed or appropriate. So it is quite the story and we're going to do our very best to get into it today. So I had to look up an article in reference to fully explaining everything for you all today because it is quite a very interesting and very weird situation and scenario. But anyway, YouTube star Ava Kris Tyson is at the center of an online controversy following allegations being levied at the internet personality. Tyson is a well-known associate and good friend of Jimmy MrBeast Donaldson, appearing in various prank and challenge videos on Donaldson's channel for his record-breaking 305 million subscribers, which is a lot of people. That's like nearly the size of how many people, I think it's more people in America. I'm not actually too sure, but there's a lot of people, man, subscribing to MrBeast. The internet personality has been in the headlines of late, having transitioned and come out as a transgender woman in 2023, which I actually made a video about, and not a lot of people actually liked that video for some reason. I think a lot of the people that seem to think that it was an acceptable thing for a once married man who has a kid to leave his wife and then transition to being that of a female and then, you know, wrecking the person's marriage as well as the relationship that this person had with this person's son. And it's just not a good look and situation at all. It's kind of rather selfish if you ask me. And, you know, there's this whole trans widow group that is becoming quite big at the moment because you have a lot of men thinking that, hey, it may be a good idea to transition to being a woman and fulfill my fantasies and the like. So I've got an issue with that. Then there's this other issue that is coming out at the moment with these allegations. So several YouTube videos have surfaced alleging popular internet star Ava Kris Tyson of some damning crimes. Tyson finds Tyson's self in the center of some controversy following accusations against Tyson, and Tyson previously engaged in a sexually inappropriate relationship with a minor. So those are the accusations being thrown at Kris at the moment. 2 videos uploaded since June 25th laid out the claims, saying Tyson, who was around 20 at the time, started messaging the alleged victim when he was 13, which, by the way, if you weren't aware, that is highly inappropriate and should never actually take place or happen. But nevertheless, this evidently seemed to have taken place allegedly all the way up until they met 3 years later when he was 16 years old. The accuser claims that evidence of the relationship includes screen grabs of one-on-one Discord calls between the two, as well as the victim renting a camper van and allegedly meeting up with Tyson in a secluded rural location via Drama Alert on X, formerly Twitter. Screenshots of messages passing back and forth between Tyson and the alleged also came to light, with the pair using what some have considered innuendo-laced emojis in several of their interactions. And there's quite a few of these screenshots that I've seen that are rather very highly suggestive and highly inappropriate, if you ask me. These messages also included Tyson joking about selling naked photos or nudes, which became a Patreon. The joke Patreon, apparently, which had this young individual pay $1, I think it was, to the Patreon account, and Kris ended up making a comment about that. So to the victim in question, but whether pictures were actually exchanged remains to be seen. We don't know. So at the moment, they're just allegations. I think there needs to be more investigation into, I think, whether or not there's anything criminal that has taken place. But regardless, all these accusations are highly inappropriate and nothing should have ever taken place like this. But anyway, following the posting of these videos, the alleged victim, Lava GS, who that's how the guy goes by on X, denied any wrongdoing on Tyson's part, saying they did nothing more than share a few edgy jokes. Yeah, so here's what he said on Twitter. I've got the actual tweet. So Keemstar over on Twitter goes, MrBeast connected me directly to Lava, the alleged Kris Tyson groomed victim. So imagine having to go to MrBeast and say to MrBeast, hey, can you please connect me with Lava, because there's all these claims coming about your best mate who happened to be allegedly grooming the 13-year-old kid at the time. So can you please connect me with this kid called Lava so I can actually see for myself whether or not this is true? So this is what Lava apparently said. I was not groomed by Kris Tyson. Lava, I did not meet Kris Tyson by myself. I met Kris and the MrBeast crew with my family present. Lava, I ran a Discord with Kris Tyson when I was 13, and edgy, inappropriate jokes was said. That's it. So here is the full tweet as well. These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Well, I don't think we're seeing the tweets in plain sight. I don't think it's necessarily twisting the truth. We don't know the whole truth, but regardless of what's actually taken place, I think there needs to be an investigation of sorts, because there are some very suggestive things that have been said. Regardless of whether or not you think they're edgy or highly sexual, they're definitely highly inappropriate. So, and anyway, why would you meet a 13-year-old kid and you're an adult? Again, that's problematic. But Kris, never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Well, you're 13 years old. How would you know exactly whether or not you were taken advantage of or exploited? That's a question that needs to be asked. I think if you think about it and you do a little bit of research into how people exploit their victims and how they take advantage of them, I think you may come across some very interesting things. But I think you may need to do a little bit of research into that. But nevertheless, I could be totally wrong, and I'm fine to be totally wrong, okay? Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? The situation takes away from children who are actively being exploited every day online. I am not a victim of anything being claimed in these videos or at all. Since these allegations came to light, Tyson has been silent on social media. In fact, he has gotten rid of a lot of the comments over on social media. So he's apparently been limiting comments on Instagram and making Twitter posts on X private. And so Tyson's close friend and collaborator, MrBeast, has not commented on the subject, despite him having come out in support of Tyson in the past. MrBeast came out in support of Tyson for the transition that Tyson did. And MrBeast was not happy with people that were criticizing Kris for deciding to make the transition in the first place. And by the way, you're not really transitioning to anything. Like, you're still a biological male. You've only just decided to ruin your entire life. But anyway, Tyson's last video, which was uploaded to Tyson's personal YouTube channel on Friday, July 19th, has had its comment section flooded with messages regarding the claims, with many wondering if, when the YouTube star will respond. While some believe vehemently that Tyson is guilty, others have come out in support of the YouTube creator, saying that the claims have no grounds and are simply an effort to villainize the transgender community. Well, I don't think, I personally don't think that it has anything to do with the transgender community at all. I think it has everything to do, because this is prior to Kris deciding the transition. I think this has everything to do with the fact that Kris has allegedly been grooming a minor, although we don't officially know. But Sydney Watson goes over on Twitter, "It's so funny that these people think the trans movement was making any headway at all. Like, take a look around. There are so many freaks in their community. It's not like Kris Tyson is some sort of anomaly." So there's a lot of people within the trans community, I'll have you know, that are involved in a great deal of minor sexual exploitative behavior. And whether or not it's a coincidence that now Kris Tyson is, but again, I say, if this had happened after Kris's transition, I think you could actually make that claim that it's problematic within the community. But nevertheless, I think Kris has joined a community that there are a lot of freaks in that community, let's just say that. And Octa over on Twitter goes, "Kris Tyson from MrBeast just got outed as a, you know what? This basically just sent back the trans community 200 years back. We are never going to hear the end of it from transphobes." Well, it's got nothing to do with transphobic behavior, mate. It's honestly, these people, they're just like, hey, if you get outed as being a creep and a freak, then you're a transphobe. Like, they're just going to throw out these ridiculous accusations. But if you throw out something that is a legitimate accusation, I guess you can make that claim because we've got receipts of things that are very suggestive. Then they're going to call you, oh, it's transphobic behavior. No, mate, it's not. I really hope the kid is okay too, because holy F, man, this is disgusting and horrible. So you go from saying we've sent back the trans community 200 years, but I hope that the kid is okay. It's disgusting and horrible. So you just a little bit contradicted yourself there, mate. But anyway, you can do whatever. So I guess with time, we're going to see what really is happening and whether or not Kris is guilty or not guilty. I think time will actually tell. But until then, no way am I actually saying that any of these claims are legitimate or not. Again, they're just accusations at the moment. So whether or not Kris comes out and says that they're real and whatever else, time will reveal all, as it normally does. Anyway, my friends, you take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.